The sky burned crimson as alien ships descended over Seoul's skyline. Massive metallic vessels blocked out the sun, casting enormous shadows across the city's gleaming skyscrapers. Hyun Park watched from the emergency command center, his hands gripping the reinforced glass window, feeling the vibrations of incoming plasma strikes. The first bombardment came without warning. Entire city blocks transformed into instant infernos as precision energy weapons vaporized infrastructure. Millions of citizens scrambled for underground shelters, their emergency training kicking into survival mode. Streets that once buzzed with daily life now erupted into chaos. Captain Jae Kim stood at the central communication hub, his military uniform crisp despite the surrounding mayhem. Data streams flickered across multiple holographic displays, showing the alien fleet's tactical movements. They were methodical, almost surgical in their approach, targeting critical infrastructure with calculated precision. "Activate Protocol Wildfire," Jay commanded, his voice cutting through the electronic noise. Young technicians around him moved with lightning speed, fingers dancing across complex control panels. Each movement was a calculated response to an invasion nobody had truly anticipated. The alien ships, sleek and impossibly smooth, represented technology far beyond human understanding. Their metallic surfaces seemed to absorb light, creating an unsettling optical illusion that made them appear more like shadows than physical objects. Communication attempts from Earth's defense systems were met with absolute silence, a psychological tactic designed to instill maximum fear. Hyun noticed something peculiar. While most humans would have been paralyzed by terror, the people around him moved with a strange sense of purpose. Military personnel, civilian volunteers, and emergency responders worked in perfect synchronization. Years of global conflict simulation and preparation were now being put to the ultimate test. Satellite imagery revealed the invaders weren't just targeting major cities. Remote research stations, military bases, and communication networks were systematically being neutralized. It was a comprehensive strategy aimed at completely dismantling human resistance before it could even begin. Jae Kim understood their strategy immediately. These weren't conquerors seeking territory, they were executioners planning total extinction. The precision of their attack suggested they had studied humanity for years, knowing exactly which targets would create maximum disruption. In the command center, advanced tracking systems mapped the alien fleet's movements. Each plasma strike was logged, analyzed, and processed through complex predictive algorithms. What seemed like random destruction to an untrained eye was actually a carefully orchestrated invasion plan. Suddenly, emergency communication channels burst with reports from around the globe. Tokyo, New York, London. No major population center was being spared. The invasion was global, synchronized, and devastatingly effective. Hyun watched as emergency protocols transformed civilian infrastructure into potential defensive systems. Manufacturing plants, communication networks, and transportation grids were being rapidly reconfigured. Humanity wasn't just preparing to defend, they were preparing to counterattack. The alien ships continued their relentless assault. Buildings collapsed, infrastructure crumbled, but something unexpected was happening. Instead of pure panic, a collective human resolve was emerging. People weren't just running, they were organizing, adapting, planning. Captain Jae Kim's voice remained steady. "We are not defeated," he announced through the command center's communication system. "We are just getting started." Outside, the first wave of human defensive drones began launching from hidden underground facilities. They moved with a coordination that suggested something more than mere programming, it was almost like a collective intelligence was emerging. The invasion had begun. But something told Hyun Park that these alien attackers had made a critical miscalculation. They might have superior technology, but they had drastically underestimated humanity's capacity for survival, adaptation, and pure, unbridled resistance. As plasma strikes continued to reshape the cityscape, a new chapter in human history was being written not with surrender, but with an emerging, unified determination that would shock the invaders beyond their wildest expectations. The real fight was just beginning. The morning after the initial invasion, engineer Yoon Choi stood in her underground research facility, surrounded by screens displaying global communication networks. Her team had been preparing for this moment for years, though no one believed they would actually see it happen. Across Seoul's devastated landscape, survivors began emerging from shelters. Instead of pure panic, a strange calm settled over the city. People moved with purpose, gathering whatever technology and resources they could find. Manufacturing plants that once produced consumer electronics now transformed into rapid production centers for defensive equipment. Yoon's adaptive AI system began its most critical task. Complex algorithms started rewriting communication protocols, turning every remaining digital network into a potential weapon system. Cell phones, traffic cameras, industrial computers, everything became part of a massive, interconnected defense mechanism. In the first 12 hours after the invasion, something extraordinary happened. Civilian volunteers started streaming into makeshift military centers. People with backgrounds in technology, engineering, and communication quickly organized themselves. They weren't waiting for traditional military leadership, they were creating their own response. Drone factories that previously manufactured commercial delivery systems now produced combat-ready unmanned vehicles. Each drone was equipped with advanced tracking systems and adaptive weapon technology. What looked like simple delivery machines could now become precision strike units within minutes. Military strategists had always prepared for potential invasions, but no simulation could match the real-world creativity emerging. High school students with coding skills were reprogramming traffic management systems to create complex urban defense networks. Retired engineers developed improvised weapon systems using industrial equipment. Yoon watched her screens as global communication transformed. What the aliens thought was a systematic destruction of human infrastructure was actually creating something unexpected, a completely new form of distributed warfare. Every destroyed communication tower became an opportunity to build a more resilient network. Local hospitals converted operating rooms into emergency research centers. Medical professionals began studying alien weapon signatures, developing rapid countermeasures. What seemed like a weakness, humanity's biological fragility, was quickly becoming a strength of adaptability. The alien invasion force had expected a straightforward conquest. Instead, they encountered a species that didn't just fight back, they reimagined the entire concept of resistance. Communication networks became weapon platforms. Destroyed buildings became potential traps. Every piece of technology was a potential weapon. In rural areas, farming communities transformed agricultural equipment into makeshift defensive systems. Tractors became armored vehicles. Irrigation systems were quickly converted into water-based cooling mechanisms for improvised weapon platforms. Humanity's diverse skill sets were becoming its greatest weapon. Yoon's AI system made a critical breakthrough. By analyzing the first wave of alien attack patterns, it developed predictive models that could anticipate future strike locations. What seemed like random destruction was actually following specific technological signatures that could now be tracked and potentially countered. Military communication channels, which the aliens believed they had destroyed, were rapidly being rebuilt using civilian communication technologies. Amateur radio operators, internet engineers, and satellite communication experts worked together to create a new, more resilient communication infrastructure. The invasion had triggered something profound in human psychology. The initial shock was transforming into a collective, almost instinctive resistance. People weren't just defending, they were actively developing new ways to fight back. Night fell, and instead of darkness, the landscape was illuminated by thousands of improvised defense systems coming online. Drone swarms moved with coordinated precision. Adaptive communication networks pulsed with data. What was supposed to be humanity's final moment was becoming its most innovative. Yoon Choi smiled. The aliens had made a critical mistake. They had attacked a species that viewed technological challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for innovation. The resistance wasn't just igniting, it was about to become a wildfire that would consume the entire invasion force. Dr. Sung Lee stared at the holographic display, his fingers dancing across quantum computing interfaces. The alien technology they had captured during the initial invasion was about to become humanity's greatest weapon. Each fragment of alien equipment contained secrets waiting to be unlocked. Research facilities around the world had transformed. What were once competitive scientific institutions now worked as a single, unified network. Universities, military research centers, and private technology companies shared every piece of information in real time. The global research effort moved faster than any previous scientific collaboration in human history. The first breakthrough came unexpectedly. A group of young researchers discovered that alien weapon signatures contained predictable frequency patterns. By understanding these patterns, human engineers could develop adaptive shielding technology that could instantly counter alien energy weapons. Military strategist Eun Kim watched the data streams with intense concentration. "We don't just fight," she told her team, "we evolve faster than they can understand." Her strategy was simple: every alien attack would provide more information, more opportunity to develop countermeasures. Nanotechnology became the primary focus of human technological revolution. Researchers developed microscopic machines that could instantly analyze and reverse engineer alien technological principles. What took traditional research teams months could now be accomplished in minutes. Manufacturing centers around the globe began producing adaptive weapon systems. Factories that once created consumer electronics now produced advanced defense technologies. Civilian infrastructure became a massive, interconnected weapon production network. The aliens had expected a technologically inferior species. Instead, they discovered a civilization that could adapt and innovate at an unprecedented rate. Each plasma strike, each attempted invasion, provided humanity with more data to develop more advanced defensive systems. Satellite networks, previously used for communication and research, were quickly converted into advanced tracking and weapon coordination platforms. Amateur astronomers and professional scientists worked together to develop complex prediction models of alien fleet movements. Dr. Sung Lee's quantum computing team made a critical discovery. They found a way to create adaptive AI systems that could predict and counter alien technological strategies in real time. What seemed like impossible technology was now becoming a reality. Medical research facilities began developing advanced biological enhancement technologies. Researchers discovered ways to improve human physical and cognitive capabilities, creating a new generation of enhanced defenders. Genetic modification techniques that were previously theoretical now became practical survival strategies. Communication networks transformed into complex weapon platforms. Every remaining communication tower became a potential defensive system. Amateur radio operators, internet engineers, and satellite communication experts developed new ways to share information and coordinate defensive strategies. The aliens' technological superiority was rapidly being challenged. Humanity wasn't just defending, they were developing technologies that could potentially surpass the invaders' capabilities. Each captured piece of alien technology became a learning opportunity. Energy production facilities were quickly converted into advanced weapon research centers. Solar, nuclear, and experimental energy technologies were being pushed beyond their previous limitations. What was once theoretical research was now critical survival technology. Eun Kim's strategy of total technological adaptation was working. The research teams weren't just developing defensive technologies, they were creating entirely new technological paradigms. The invasion was transforming human technological capabilities at an unprecedented rate. As night fell, research facilities around the world continued working. Quantum computers processed massive amounts of data. Nanotechnology labs developed new adaptive systems. Manufacturing centers produced advanced defensive equipment. The aliens had made a critical mistake. They had attacked a species with an unprecedented capacity for rapid technological innovation. What was supposed to be a simple invasion was becoming a complex technological challenge. Dr. Sung Lee looked at his team, a slight smile crossing his face. The technological revolution had begun, and humanity was just getting started. The real war was no longer about physical combat, it was a battle of technological innovation, and humans were proving to be formidable opponents. The alien communication networks first noticed something was wrong when their psychological analysis programs began producing unexpected results. Tactical Commander Wu Park had transformed psychological warfare into a precise, devastating weapon. Broadcast systems across the globe started transmitting carefully designed signals. These weren't just messages, they were psychological weapons engineered to break alien morale. Every intercepted communication became a potential mind-breaking tool designed to exploit the invaders' psychological vulnerabilities. Alien communication specialists detected strange patterns. Human broadcasts contained complex psychological triggers that seemed to penetrate their most advanced mental defense systems. What appeared to be random noise carried deeply embedded psychological algorithms that caused unexpected emotional responses in alien listeners. Research teams had spent months studying alien communication patterns. They discovered that the invaders had a collective consciousness with specific psychological weaknesses. Emotions like uncertainty, doubt, and fear could be amplified through carefully constructed communication signals. Military psychologists worked alongside linguists and communication experts to develop targeted psychological strategies. They analyzed every piece of captured alien communication, looking for subtle psychological entry points. Each broadcast was a carefully designed weapon meant to create maximum psychological disruption. Alien soldiers began experiencing strange mental phenomena. Some reported hearing voices that seemed to come from inside their own communication systems. Others experienced memory disruptions in sudden moments of extreme doubt about their invasion mission. Wu Park's team developed advanced communication protocols that could penetrate alien communication networks. They created messages that appeared normal on the surface but contained complex psychological manipulation algorithms. Each transmission was a carefully constructed psychological weapon. The global media became an unexpected ally in this psychological warfare. News broadcasts, entertainment programs, and communication networks were transformed into sophisticated psychological warfare platforms. What seemed like normal content contained carefully designed psychological triggers. Alien tracking systems became increasingly confused. Human communication networks appeared to be everywhere and nowhere simultaneously. Traditional invasion strategies became impossible as human psychological warfare created massive communication disruptions. Young programmers and communication experts developed increasingly complex psychological warfare techniques. They created communication algorithms that could adapt in real time, changing psychological attack strategies faster than alien systems could analyze them. Intercepted alien communication logs showed increasing signs of psychological breakdown. Soldiers reported strange mental experiences, unexpected emotional responses, and growing uncertainty about their invasion mission. The human psychological warfare was working precisely as designed. Global communication networks began broadcasting messages specifically designed to create psychological doubt among the alien forces. These messages were multi-layered, containing complex psychological triggers that attacked the invaders' collective consciousness. Wu Park understood that psychological warfare was more powerful than traditional combat. By attacking the mental foundations of the invasion force, humans could potentially defeat the aliens without firing a single physical weapon. Research facilities developed advanced neural communication technologies that could transmit complex psychological signals across massive distances. What was once considered impossible was now becoming a practical psychological warfare strategy. The aliens had made a critical mistake. They had underestimated humanity's capacity for psychological innovation. Each attempted communication became an opportunity for psychological manipulation. Entertainment media became an unexpected psychological warfare platform. Movies, music, and digital content were carefully designed to contain subtle psychological triggers that could be transmitted across alien communication networks. As the psychological warfare intensified, alien communication systems began to show signs of significant breakdown. Their once precise communication networks became increasingly chaotic and unpredictable. Wu Park watched the communication displays, a slight smile crossing his face. The psychological war was achieving exactly what they had designed it to do: create maximum confusion and doubt among the invasion forces. Humanity had discovered its most powerful weapon, the ability to transform communication itself into a precise, devastating psychological tool. The real battle was happening in the minds of the invaders, and humans were proving to be unbeatable psychological strategists. Jupiter's orbit became the stage for humanity's ultimate stand. The combined human fleet emerged from hidden positions, a massive armada that seemed to materialize from nothing. What began as a seemingly hopeless invasion had transformed into humanity's defining moment of resistance. Tactical Commander Un Kim stood on the bridge of the lead battleship, her eyes fixed on the holographic displays showing the alien fleet's position. Every technological advancement, every psychological strategy, every moment of preparation had led to this single confrontation. The alien fleet looked impressive, massive ships with technologies beyond human understanding. But something had changed. The once confident invaders now showed signs of uncertainty. Their communication networks were fragmented, their tactical formations disrupted by months of human psychological warfare. Drone swarms launched from hidden launch points across the solar system. Thousands of unmanned vehicles moved with a precision that suggested something more than simple programming. They were adaptive, learning, and coordinating in ways the aliens couldn't predict. Quantum computing systems worked in perfect synchronization, predicting and countering alien attack patterns almost before they could be initiated. Each alien weapon strike was anticipated, each tactical movement intercepted and neutralized before it could become a threat. The first wave of alien attacks met with unexpected resistance. Adaptive shield technologies developed by Dr. Sun Lee's research team absorbed and redirected energy weapons. What should have been devastating strikes became harmless light shows against human defensive systems. Communication networks across human ships created a collective consciousness more powerful than any alien technology. Soldiers, pilots, and support teams moved with a coordination that seemed almost supernatural. Every human became part of a larger, unified fighting system. Captured alien technologies were now turned against their original creators. Weapon systems reverse-engineered during months of research became the primary offensive tools. The invaders found themselves fighting against technologies derived from their own advanced systems. Jupiter's massive gravitational field became an unexpected ally. Human tacticians used the planet's complex electromagnetic environment to create tactical advantages that confused alien navigation and weapon targeting systems. The battle wasn't just about physical combat. Psychological warfare strategies continued to play a critical role. Broadcast signals transmitted directly into alien communication networks created moments of doubt and confusion at critical battle points. Hours of intense combat revealed the true nature of human resistance. Each destroyed human ship was instantly replaced by adaptive systems. Each lost drone was a learning opportunity for the remaining fleet. The humans were evolving faster than the aliens could respond. Alien commanders began to realize they had made a critical mistake. Humanity was not a species to be conquered. They were a civilization that transformed every challenge into an opportunity for innovation and survival. The final moments of the battle came quickly. Adaptive weapon systems developed from months of research struck with unprecedented precision. Alien ships began to fall, not through brute force, but through intelligent, coordinated attacks that exploited every technological weakness. Commander Un Kim's final transmission was simple and direct. "You wanted hell," she broadcast across open channels. "Welcome home." The remaining alien fleet scattered, leaving behind only burning wreckage. What had begun as a total invasion was now a complete defeat. Humanity had not just survived, they had transformed the very nature of interstellar conflict. As the battle concluded, something profound became clear. The invasion was never just about physical combat. It was a test of species adaptability, technological innovation, and collective willpower. The human fleet regrouped, damaged but unbroken. Repair systems began working immediately, showing the same adaptability that had defined their resistance. Each destroyed ship was a learning opportunity, each lost system a chance for improvement. Jupiter's massive form loomed in the background, a silent witness to humanity's greatest moment. The solar system was no longer just a potential conquest, it was a fortress defended by a species that refused to be defeated. The message was clear to any potential future invaders: humanity was not just a species to be underestimated. They were a civilization that could turn destruction into opportunity, fear into innovation, and invasion into a moment of collective triumph. The final confrontation was over. Humanity's real journey was just beginning.